Passport is an internationally accepted identity document used while traveling abroad. Issued by authorized institutions on demand. People can apply for a passport online or through institutions. Passport applications and fees are regulated by the law. Passport fee and to be 25 years old condition is required for some passports. There are several types of passports depending on the status of the bearer in their home country. Passport validity is the length of time a passport can be used to travel to another country, or be used as a valid form of identification within or outside the issuing country before its date of expiration. U.S. adult passport with 10-year validity, Indonesian adult passport with 5-year validity, Old New Zealand passport showing the old validity period of 5 years. There is an increasing trend for adult passports to be valid for 10 years, such as a United Kingdom passport, United States passport, New Zealand passport, after November 30, 2015, or Australian passport. A 5-year period of validity is also common, as used to be the situation for a Papua New Guinean passport or currently for an Indonesian passport. Some countries issue adult passports for periods between 5 and 10 years, such as the Cuban passport, which is valid for 6 years. Unless otherwise limited, U.S. adult passports in the late 20th century used to expire 3 years after their issue date, or after 5 years if they had been renewed. Some countries allow adult applicants to choose a passport validity, usually 5 or 10 years, at a varying price scale, example costing more for 10 years than 5 years. These countries include Canada, Hungary, Japan, Mexico, 1, 3, 6, or 10, Pakistan, Russia, South Korea, Turkey and Bangladesh. Most countries issue passports for children and young adults for 5 years. Under passport issuing protocols, a child or young adult passport is defined as being under 16 years for a United States passport, under 19 years for a Japanese passport, under 21 years for a Croatian passport, under 24 years for a German passport, or under 30 years as is the case with a Spanish passport. Because children change rapidly in appearance from infancy to age 5, some countries issue infant passports for 2 years, such as the Austrian passport, or for 1 year in the case of the Republic of Korea passport. Many countries require passports to have a remaining validity of 6 months or more on the date of arrival. Countries requiring passport validity of at least 6 months on arrival include Afghanistan, Algeria, Bhutan, Botswana, Brunei, Cambodia, Canada, Comoros, Côte d'Ivoire, Ecuador, Egypt, El Salvador, Fiji, Guyana, Indonesia, Iran, Iraq, except when arriving at Basra, 3 months, and Erbil or Sulaymaniyah, on arrival, Kenya, Laos, Madagascar, Malaysia, Marshall Islands, Mexico, Myanmar, Namibia, Nicaragua, Nigeria, Oman, Palau, Papua New Guinea, Rwanda, St. Lucia, Samoa, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, Solomon Islands, Sri Lanka, Suriname, Taiwan, Tanzania, Thailand, Timor-Leste, Tonga, Turkey, Tuvalu, Uganda, Vanuatu, Venezuela, Vietnam. Countries requiring passport validity of at least 4 months on arrival include Micronesia, Zambia. Countries requiring passport validity of at least 3 months on arrival include Schengen area countries, Georgia, Honduras, Iceland, Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanon, Moldova, Nauru, Panama, United Arab Emirates. And countries requiring passport validity of at least 1 month on arrival include Philippines, Eritrea, Hong Kong, Macau, New Zealand, South Africa. Other countries require either a passport valid on arrival or passport valid throughout the period of intended stay. There are several groups of countries that have, by mutual agreement, adopted common designs for their passports. The European Union. The design and layout of passports of the member states of the European Union are a result of consensus and recommendation, rather than of directive. Passports are issued by member states and may consist of either the usual passport booklet or the newer passport card format. The covers of ordinary passport booklets are burgundy red, except for Croatia, which has a blue cover, with European Union written in the national language or languages. Below that are the name of the country, the national coat of arms, the word or words for passport, and, at the bottom, the symbol for a biometric passport. The data page can be at the front or at the back of a passport booklet, and there are significant design differences throughout to indicate which member state is the issuer. Member states that participate in the Schengen Agreement have agreed that their e-passports should contain fingerprint information in the chip. In 2006, the members of the CA4 Treaty, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, and Nicaragua, adopted a common design passport, called the Central American Passport, following a design already in use by Nicaragua and El Salvador since the mid-1990s. It features a navy blue cover with the words America Central and a map of Central America, and with the territory of the issuing country highlighted in gold, in place of the individual nation's coats of arms. At the bottom of the cover are the name of the issuing country and the passport type. The members of the Andean Community of Nations, Bolivia, Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru, began to issue commonly designed passports in 2005. Specifications for the common passport format were outlined in an Andean Council of Foreign Ministers meeting in 2002. Previously issued national passports will be valid until their expiry dates. Andean passports are Bordeaux, burgundy red, with words in gold. Centered above the national seal of the issuing country is the name of the regional body in Spanish, Comunidad Andina. Below the seal is the official name of the member country. At the bottom of the cover is the Spanish word pasaporte along with the English passport. Venezuela had issued Andean passports, but has subsequently left the Andean community, so they will no longer issue Andean passports. The Union of South American Nations had signaled an intention to establish a common passport design, but it is doubtful that this will happen since the group effectively broke up in 2019. 12 member states of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, began issuing passports with a common design since early 2009. It features the CARICOM symbol along with the national coat of arms and name of the member state, rendered in a CARICOM official language, English, French, Dutch. The member states which use the common design are Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Belize, Dominica, Grenada, Guyana, Jamaica, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Suriname, and Trinidad and Tobago. There was a movement by the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, OECS, to issue a common designed passport, but the implementation of the CARICOM passport made that redundant, and it was abandoned. Passports sometimes contain a message, usually near the front, requesting that the passport's bearer be allowed to pass freely, and further requesting that, in the event of need, the bearer be granted assistance. The message is sometimes made in the name of the government or the head of state, and may be written in more than one language, depending on the language policies of the issuing authority. In 1920, an international conference on passports and through tickets held by the League of Nations recommended that passports be issued in the French language, historically the language of diplomacy, and one other language. Currently, the ICAO recommends that passports be issued in English, French, and Spanish, or in the national language of the issuing country and in either English, French, or Spanish. Many European countries use their national language, along with English and French. A passport is merely an identity document that is widely recognized for international travel purposes, and the possession of a passport does not in itself entitle a traveler to enter any country other than the country that issued it, and sometimes not even then. Many countries normally require visitors to obtain a visa. Each country has different requirements or conditions for the grant of visas, such as for the visitor not being likely to become a public charge for financial, health, family, or other reasons, and the holder not having been convicted of a crime or considered likely to commit one. Where a country does not recognize another, or is in dispute with it, entry may be prohibited to holders of passports of the other party to the dispute, and sometimes to others who have, for example, visited the other country. Examples are listed below. A country that issues a passport may also restrict its validity or use in specified circumstances, such as use for travel to certain countries for political, security, or health reasons. Many nations implement border controls restricting the entry of people of certain nationalities or who have visited certain countries. For instance, Georgia refuses entry to holders of passports issued by the Republic of China. Similarly, since April 2017, nationals of Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sudan, Syria, Yemen, and Iran have been banned from entering the parts of eastern Libya under the control of the Tobruk government. The Pakistani passports explicitly mention that these passports are valid in all countries except Israel. The majority of Arab countries, as well as Iran and Malaysia, ban Israeli citizens. However, exceptional entry to Malaysia is possible with approval from the Ministry of Home Affairs. Certain countries may also restrict entry to those with Israeli stamps or visas in their passports. As a result of tension over the former Republic of Artsakh dispute, Azerbaijan currently forbids entry to Armenian citizens as well as to individuals with proof of travel to Artsakh. Between September 2017 and January 2021, the United States of America did not issue new visas to nationals of Iran, North Korea, Libya, Somalia, Syria, or Yemen pursuant to restrictions imposed by the Trump administration, which were subsequently repealed by the Biden administration on January 20, 2021. While in force, the restrictions were conditional and could be lifted if the countries affected meet the required security standards specified by the Trump administration, and dual citizens of these countries could still enter if they presented a passport from a non-designated country. One method by which to rank the value of a passport is to calculate its mobility score, MS. The mobility score of a passport is the number of countries that allow the holder of that passport to enter for general tourism visa-free, visa on arrival, ETA, or e-visa issued within 3 days. As of 2023, the strongest passport in the world is the Singaporean passport. Thank you for watching this video.